you a college student who could use a little help in reaching your goals, or simply a student who could really use some guidance in order to tackle obstacles that you may face during your college years? If so, you may be the perfect candidate for a college mentor. Hi, I'm Diane Wagner, and today I have with me Terry Peppin, who is a representative of Cal State Hayward's mentoring program, and Damone Poole, who is a mentor of the program. Welcome, both of you. Thanks for being here. Now, Terry, I understand that you are the instructional support assistant of this program, correct? Tell me what the program is actually all about.
Well, the program is designed to help college students get through their careers with a minimum of the friction that we all face while getting through tough courses, busy lives, and the like. So that's what the program is designed to do, and we match people with mentors in order to help them just solve problems that come up.
So it's more than just a tutorial program.
That's true. It's we can start out with tutoring and build a relationship from there, or we can go in the opposite direction and start out with a very personal relationship and then do tutoring as needed for certain coursework.
Okay. Now I understand that there are a number of different roles that your program has to offer. What are those roles?
Yeah. Well, generally, you know, the word mentor has means the traditional meaning of the word mentor is wise and friendly counselor. That's obviously role one that the mentors play. I mean, it's someone who's there for you, that can give you advice as needed. The second role that the mentors, that we play as mentors, is a knowledgeable referral source, so that we know where things are on campus, and we want to tell students, if you know, whenever they need something, here's the place to go and get that. The third is sort of an advocate, and to try to help the student negotiate the system. There are additional roles that we play. Pseudo-academic advisor is one, although there are trained people who do that much better that we do refer people to. You know, also the much more personal counseling is up to individuals. I think it's based on the level of trust in the relationship.
So who does the program actually target?
Our program targets students who are at Cal State Hayward. So if any Chabot students, let's say, were to come up to Cal State Hayward, the instant even before they got to their first class, their first quarter, they could come and visit our office and fill out a profile form and be in our program from day one. And they can meet some of the people and have access to some of our resources that they can use while they're there.
Now, I find it's interesting because there's a lot of, you know, every institution, I would say, has a tutoring program. I know Chabot does, and other junior colleges, universities throughout the United States. But this program is very, very unique. Why did you guys decide to create this program, and how did it actually come about?
Well, the program began in 1987-88. I wasn't there at the time. I joined in 1990. But the program was designed in response to a low retention rate of minority students. The original target, the original focus was getting minority students on campus to stay in school until they graduated. And so what the mentors did was employ any one of those tools that they could to get students to stick it out, to do better in their coursework, to be able to handle the stress of being a student and often having families and family responsibilities. And perhaps most of our students work, as probably most Chabot students do. And so they have very busy lives, and we have people that will help them conceptualize how to succeed in what could be extreme circumstances.
So it's actually dealing with life that we all have to deal with.
Yeah, but I do want to say that the program has since stopped targeting only minority students. And while we do have many minority students who are comfortable in our program, that it's really for everyone, and that we're not exclusive in any manner. And of course, with recent legislation, we are not exclusionary. We never really have been, and we have to, I think by law, take out any reference to, oh, it's for this student or for that student. And generally our sentiment in the program was any student who needs us can come and get help. So
And so what do they do? Where do they go to get help?
Well, we're up on the 4th floor of Warren Hall, the tall building that most can see from the highways or the on Mission Boulevard. And on the 4th floor in Warren Hall 409 is the mentoring program office, and in 495 we share adjacent offices. And all you need to do is come up and say, I want to get a mentor. I want to have a mentor, and we'll take them from there.
Okay. Now, what is your actual role in the program?
Well, I started out as a student mentor, which Damone came in as, but what I've done since is started to work at the office, and at first as a graduate assistant while I was doing my graduate program in psychology. So I supervised student mentors, and I keep records, and I do training and facilitate discussion groups, and I orient students to the program, and the list goes on, and I'll just stop right there. But yeah, I'm sort of the everything guy, and I do have help. I have a colleague who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, but is doing plenty of the work that I should be doing today. And we have a very small but efficient office, so we try to minimize paperwork and bureaucracy. Ours is not a place on campus where students come in and would have to wait an inordinate amount of time to get some help. So.
Good. So how long have you actually been with the program now?
Well, I've been since 1990 a student mentor. In 1992 I became a graduate assistant while I was doing my graduate program, and that changed somewhere along the line into instructional support assistant. So
that's really neat. So you obtained your studies, your degrees from Cal State Hayward,
right,
and then worked with the mentoring program and have just continued on with the program.
Yeah, one of the reasons I think I got into the program is because I had a relatively successful college career, and what I wanted to do is pass on the good experience that I've had, and I think most of the students who I've worked with would say that that's what I'm doing. I hope so. So.
Good. It's a beautiful gift to pass on to people.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Now, Damone, you are a student at Cal State Hayward
Correct.
right now. Okay. And how did you get involved in the program? Did you start out as a mentee, or?
Well, I started off as a mentor.
Okay.
Prior to that, I worked for the orientation staff. The orientation staff, the orientation program is a program on campus where new students come on campus and they kind of give them an orientation about the campus, about what different opportunities are there for them, different resources. From there, I heard about the mentoring program, but I wasn't involved until I met Mr. Lovett, who invited me to be a part of the program in 1994. And from there, I started as an undergraduate in the program as a mentor, and currently I'm a graduate student as a mentor for the program.
And what are your studies in?
My graduate studies in public administration with a focus in healthcare management.
Okay. And how do you feel being involved as a mentor is helping you further your career along and what you're interested in doing in life?
I think people relations, to be able to have 10 to 15 mentees and be able to work with them and build relationships. And I learned from them. Some of their questions that they have now, I've had, are some things that they, questions I have, they can even answer. As a mentee, in itself, you're dealing with different, a diverse population, people with different backgrounds, different cultures. And the beauty of that is that you get a chance to learn about those different backgrounds just by your relationship with them.
It's interesting that you mentioned dealing with so many different diverse cultures and ethnic backgrounds. What do you feel, the both of you, has been probably one of the most challenging experiences each one of you has had to encounter in being a mentor?
Well, myself, I had last quarter, I had a Spanish-speaking mentee who her mother only spoke Spanish, and they have a really close family. And they have certain, of course, rules that they have in the household. And sometimes when I first tried to contact my mentee, and it was kind of uncomfortable, I can tell, for their mom. One, it was hard for us to communicate because she only spoke Spanish. And I know a little Spanish, so I kind of could get some information out of her about, who I was and what I was doing, calling her daughter, basically. And at first I was kind of uneasy because We only could speak at certain times, of course. Her parents really wanted to know who I was, and even after she told her I was a mentor and I was what I was there for, I think the fact that I was a male caused a little problem in that situation that we eventually worked out.
So that was your most challenging.
That was really my most challenging.
Dealing not only with the language, but who is this guy calling my daughter, and what does he want to know?
Exactly.
What about you?
Well, I think there's a lot of experiences. I think I can sum it up in a phrase that I learned in counseling in my graduate program. One of our professors, the chair now, Dr. Al Jones, he always says, "I know you heard what I said, but what you heard is not what I meant." And I think a lot of times when you deal with cross-cultural communication, what happens is you say something and somebody takes it the wrong way, and you just didn't realize. And so I had a situation happen like that to me. It was a woman from a part of Asia, and I was dealing in a manner that might have been construed as sarcastic. It was about some technology, and my idea was I really wanted this person to get a grip of it, to really understand it well. And we had used a lot of joking manner in the past, but I think there might have been something I said that offended her in a way that I was, that maybe she perceived that I was attacking her capacity to do it. And I think that was hard for me because of course I wouldn't ever mean that. But you can't always watch what you say, and you have to be yourself. And when things like that occur, which they inevitably will because you're dealing across cultures, you have to be strong enough to just say, "Hey, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." What I ended up doing was writing a fairly lengthy letter and apologizing and saying, "Of course it's not what I meant. I would never do anything to hurt you that way." And she said, "Apology accepted." And I don't think any of us should be above saying, "Hey, I'm really sorry. I did not mean it the way you took that." And of course, take that and learn from it so that in the future you avoid making mistakes like that. And you don't want to, the way atmospheres can get very charged where people will only say certain things. You don't want to restrict yourself to not being yourself or not being honest.
Right.
But you do want to be able to be sensitive in your communication. And I think we've all learned that in the mentoring program time and time again. I have to credit my former director, Dr. Sandra Redmond, who is an incredible teacher and of all of us in how to communicate across cultures, across gender, and the like. So thanks, Dr. Redmond.
Thanks to Dr. Edmond.
Redmond.
Redmond,
Yes.
Redmond. So how has your psychology degree helped you in dealing with this?
Well, I've taken a lot of coursework in, the helping profession studies. So obviously I take some of the academic work in it into work with me. But I think the atmosphere at Cal State has helped a lot. The colleagues that I go to school with, the colleagues I work with whom I work, the professors, all the professors who have taught me, everyone has made some impact on my life. And so you have to combine all your life experience. And I think the psychology